comes to beginning gardening or easy gardening, there's really no better choice than daylilies. But let's face it, daylilies can be a little ho-hum, except for the ones that Roberta brings us, which are rich in saturated color and high in fragrance. So this is our Scentsational huge reblooming. So you're going to continually have blooms, you know, week after week, month after month, all throughout the season. We've put it on a 2-pay easy pay plan. It's under $20 for 6 of your daylilies, M58859. Devin Wallin is here with us. Nice to see you, as always. So tell everybody, I talked about the fact that one of the big differences here, the fact that it's fragrant, I love that.
Oh my goodness.
But the colors here
the colors
are really
rich.
special. Yeah.
They're so rich, they're vibrant, and these will be flowering in your garden for months on end.
Yes.
Like you were saying, the reason that the daylily is the backbone of the American garden is because they are an absolute cinch to grow.
Yep.
If you've never grown a plant in your entire life and you want to start, this is the plant that you need to start with because you will have brilliant success. But like you were saying, there's a ton of daylilies out there, and we're firm believers in only growing what you absolutely love. So we only offer a couple daylily varieties each season.
And not the varieties you find in your local garden centers.
No, we travel to our friends over in Holland every single year to pick out the very best daylilies. And it's a lengthy process because there's about 35,000 varieties of daylilies in the world.
Right.
So we narrowed it down to, first of all, we only want daylilies that are reblooming, which means these are going to bloom up to twice as long as the traditional daylilies that many of us have grown. That's about 4 months of flowers.
Yeah.
But also, they have to be fragrant.
Love that.
That takes us to about the top 1% of all daylilies that are both fragrant and reblooming. And then in this collection, you're receiving 3 each of the Francis of Assisi and the South Seas.
I love the South Seas, and we can show you our still images too of what these look like. But that South Seas, if you're somebody who loves those tropical tones or really loves those saturated colors of flowers in your garden, this is the daylily collection that you want, right? And there you are.
There I am. There I am at the trial garden. That's where we go and we check out all the latest and greatest daylilies. And the reason that we picked these 2 varieties is because they have the absolute highest bud count. And what that means is that your plants will start to shoot up 3, 4, 5 stems during the first season, and each one of those stems can hold as many as 24 to 36 buds.
Can I jump in for 1 second? You saw that Daring Dilemma. That is not available in this collection, guys.
Correct.
So what's in this collection are these next 2 that you're going to see. And here's that Francis of Assisi.
And I love this one. We selected this one because it has this gorgeous mauve flower with that brilliant bright eye, and it has an apple fragrance.
This is my favorite.
Oh my goodness. This took us about 10 years to bring this back.
I would plant a whole garden of just those if I could get my hands on them.
Because they're so incredible.
Gorgeous.
They are vibrant.
Aren't they pretty?
They'll be blooming these entire 6 to 7 inch wide flowers for up to 4 months. And they have a wonderful fragrance that's kind of like a honey apricot. If you find fragrant daylilies out there, which chances are you won't find them, but most fragrant daylilies are just barely fragrant.
Yes.
We selected these because we thought they have the strongest, nicest fragrance, but they're not going to be overpowering like some oriental lilies or something like that.
Yes.
They have a very sweet, mellow fragrance. It just perfumes wherever you've planted them.
And I think the other thing to keep in mind with daylilies is they are the least picky of almost any flower when it comes to the type of soil, the overall conditions. So whether you have gravelly soil, you have red clay soil, the soil, nothing else grows, try daylilies. You want to do things in containers, you're great with a daylily. I've planted a lot of daylilies down at our place at the beach. We flood. You know, we're near the inlet, so I mean, I mean,
not everything will grow there.
They do fine in those kind of bog-like conditions when they get watered down. In fact, I was just down there a week or so ago, and I was like, oh, look, my daylilies are coming back again. So that's the fun of growing daylilies is if you want low maintenance. Let me tell you what else I don't do. I never water mine. I don't cut them back. Once I've planted them and I start to see they're coming up, I do nothing. I do nothing.
It's so wonderful.
And I enjoy flowers year after year after year. So from my early days of being a beginning gardener, not that I'm so advanced now, but I just liked that I got a huge payoff
with
for very little effort.
I know, that's what I love. I'm kind of the lazy gardener around here. But so if you go to your garden center and you ask them for a fragrant reblooming daylily, they'll probably look at you like you're crazy.
Yes.
They won't have them. But they may have a reblooming daylily, and the most common one is something that looks like this. This is the little Stella Doro. It's really nice, but the flowers are all the same. Everyone else has them, and they are much smaller compared to any of ours, and they're not fragrant.
Right.
So do you want this small little Stella, or do you want one of these gorgeous Francis of Assisi and the South Seas that are also fragrant? And the other thing is, the Stellas are not cheap. They're probably more expensive than ours, but that's the wonderful aspect of being able to be here with QVC, bringing this incredible value.
Let's do a Daylily 101 with everybody.
Oh, please,
in case you didn't know what was coming to you, this is what's coming to you. And I know you're like, what? Is that really going to give me blooms this summer? Yes, it will.
It totally will.
They grow quickly. They're great to use. I've also used them at our house. We have a little bit of a slope, so I use them there to stop erosion.
That's
great
use.
They're so versatile in the garden. But let's show everybody how to plant them.
Yeah, so we have full instructions in case you forget what I'm about to tell you. This details everything you could want to know and then some. And but these are really a cinch. So basically, when you get your plants at home, they look like this. The thing that's growing up out of the top, this is the crown, and then this is the shoot. This is going to be your plant. Now, the normal way of planting them is you plant it so you have soil that meets up to the crown. But I'm going to show you guys an even easier way. You can just take your root and you just plop it right there. It's still going to find its way up. That is the wonders of a daylily, is they can be planted anyway, and you just give it some water, you give it some flower magic, and your spray and flourish, and even if you plant it totally sideways or upside down, they're still going to produce these beautiful plants. And this one collection, the first year you can expect up to 400 to 500 flowers.
Wow.
But by the second year, double that, up to 1,000.
Can I divide these?
Oh, totally.
So we send you 6 plants that you could easily divide into maybe 12, right?
Yes.
So that's the other thing I love about daylilies is I make this one-time investment, but I'm kind of always going back to the daylily bank, dividing it and putting another one somewhere else. So you get a lot for your money, especially at under $20.
And it's really incredible because you're going to be getting flowers for up to 4 solid months during their long bloom season.
Well, stay on the line for those. And again, you're going to be getting the 2 varieties. The South Seas, you'll get 3 of those. The Francis of Assisi, you'll get 3 of those. They'll work everywhere. Don't worry about it. They come back year after year. One of the easiest and showiest flowers for you to not only look at in your garden, but to smell in your garden too.
They
which
are
is so
incredible.
Great. Stay on the line for
rewarding.
those. We'll see you back in a little bit.
Definitely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
Coming up, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. We have